The San Jose Sharks proof that the dynasty drop-off is absolutely brutal, even if you don't come away from your dynasty with a Stanley Cup. After being one of the NHL's elite teams for years, the Sharks are now very firmly in a rebuild, trying to emerge from the deep sea into relevance once again. Is this going to be the year that the Sharks are no longer bottom dwellers, or will they continue to be at the bottom of the food chain?
Forget me, for you should forget it. You're living in the past, man.
The Sharks were expected to be bad in 2024-25, and lo and behold, they were. The team started their season off on a 9-game losing streak, which seems pretty bad except when you realize that the year before that, they started their season on a 12-game losing streak, so I guess this year they'll probably only start with like a 7 or 6-game losing streak. Progress, San Jose. So yeah, the Sharks were basically out of the playoff hunt before Halloween, and the only thing San Jose fans had to look forward to all year was watching Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith score their first NHL goals, and seeing if their team's terrible play would allow them to be rewarded once again with the #1 overall pick, which would allow them to take a prime defenseman in Matthew Schaefer, which unfortunately did not happen. Would you think this would be the year that there's finally a happy ending for the Sharks?
Don't turn your back on me. Let's get one thing straight. This is Shooter's tour. I've worked hard my whole life, paid my dues, and now it's Shooter's turn.
The Sharks forward core is honestly kind of weird. It's a mix of very good young players and some miscellaneous riffraff. Like, yeah, you've got Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith, and William Eklund, but you've also got Tyler Toffoli on the first line. Dude's been passed around NHL teams more than a bong in a frat house. Jeff Skinner's also here because apparently one time in the playoffs was just enough for him. You also acquired Alex Wenberg last year, then added Adam Gaudette and Philip Kurashev to make the most sacrilegious third line in the NHL. On the fourth line, it gets even worse. You got Zach Ostapchuk and Ty Dellandrea down there, along with Barclay Goodrow still being held captive here. Michael Misa will 100% get a top 6 role right out of camp, because if he doesn't, he might already be a historical bust. At least you have Quentin Musty and Igor Chernyshov in the wings, who will probably be thrust into prominent roles later in the season.
All we hear is about their defense. They can't stop a nosebleed.
But if you thought that the Sharks forward core was bad, oh boy, wait until you get a load of their defense. This team's basically going to trot out Roby Dust Island every single night in an attempt to get to the salary cap floor. I mean, this team has Timothy Liljegren and John Klingberg penciled into top 4 roles. Nick Leddy is on this team, and he's basically a zombie at this point. Hell, why don't you just drag out the bloated carcass of Marc-Edouard Vlasic and weaken at Bernie Sim to complete the full set? The only actual credible defensemen on this roster are Dmitry Orlov, who was signed for 2 years and is good for 1 boneheaded turnover per game that will make Sharks fans want to rip their hair out, and Mario Ferraro, who is a pylon, but the Sharks only trade chip, so get ready to see him get traded for a 2nd round pick at the deadline somehow. Sam Dickinson's 100% getting thrown to the Wolves way earlier than he should be, and I just pray to the gods that that kid's development isn't stunted by the fact that the Sharks have no depth on D.
Wait, it's not Goldberg. It's Russ. Here, take it. Thanks. The goalie!
And what's the perfect garnish to finish off this recipe of a terrible team? Why, a young, inexperienced goaltender to stick behind that terrible defense. Yaroslav Askarov is one of the best goaltending prospects in the NHL right now. He had flashes of brilliance last year, but buddy, get ready to learn 35 shots on goal against every game. He's going to get absolutely cooked behind this terrible defense, and his development's going to be thrown into the trash. Just brilliant, Sharks. At least you did the kid a small favor and got him a competent backup in Alex Nedeljkovic. He knows all about how to deal with a shitty defense, so he'll be a great mentor to Askarov.
You ain't gonna be able to hit them. They're too good and you suck something off.
Yes, sir, I sure do.
Look, I really like Ryan Morsovsky. I think he could be a very good coach in the NHL, just not for the San Jose Sharks. The team is so devoid of talent and they are so far away from being competitive, I fear that he is going to get blamed and scapegoated for their lack of development and fired within a year or two. It's not his fault. This roster is just completely bereft of talent and especially depth. San Jose's ownership and management is patient with him. I do believe Morsovsky can be the guy to turn the ship around. He just needs more to work with.
Since you're new here, I'm gonna cut you a break.
Said earlier, most of the San Jose Sharks offseason moves were motivated by money, and by that I mean they had to spend some money to actually look like they were trying. Being big on Dmitry Orlov, one of the few good defensemen out there in free agency, makes sense, especially because, like I said, San Jose had a lot of cap space to play with. Why the hell did they add Jeff Skinner? And why the hell would he come to San Jose anyway? I can't believe he's hurting for money that badly. Other big ads, said in air quotes, like Philip Kurashev, John Klingberg, and Nick Leddy are there to just occupy space, like the honeydew in a fruit salad. Trading for Nedeljkovic made sense, trading away Bordeleau for Shane Bowers kinda didn't, and trading Henry Thrun for Ryan Reeves is just, I don't even know how to explain that one. I know Thrun wasn't a very good defenseman, but I'd rather take a 7th round pick over the circus that is Ryan Reeves in the locker room. Not that Revo's a bad guy, he's just not good at hockey anymore. In the draft, the Sharks missed out on the number 1 overall pick and taking a generational defenseman, which they desperately needed, and had to settle for Michael Misa, the best forward in the draft. Get a pretty good defensive prospect in the 2nd round in Haoshi Wang, the highest drafted Chinese-born prospect ever, and they also used a late 1st round pick to get one of the best goaltending prospects in the draft in Joshua Ravensbergen. Oh, the San Jose Sharks didn't really improve themselves in the offseason. Mostly they're hoping to improve through drafting and player development.
Pretty good. Pretty dang good, lads!
Macklin Celebrini is an absolute beast, and there's an argument to be made that he might already be a more impactful player than Connor Bedard has been for the Chicago Blackhawks. Celebrini's playstyle and attitude off the ice are both very exciting and injecting San Jose with a lot of much-needed energy. I really hope San Jose just continues to build around him and the other great prospects they already have.
I'll give you a winter prediction. It's gonna be cold, it's gonna be gray, and it's gonna last you for the rest of your life.
The Sharks are gonna be bad again this year, and they probably will be contending for the last place finish in the NHL and the number 1 overall pick once again. Honestly, if I was the Sharks, I wouldn't be rocking that boat whatsoever. Celebrini is a very good player, but as we've seen throughout the NHL's history, you need more than one superstar if you want to be a dynasty-type team in this league. McDavid had Draisaitl, Crosby had Malkin, Ovechkin had Backstrom. While a pairing of Celebrini and Misa could be that, a pairing of Celebrini and McKenna would absolutely be that and make San Jose a perennial powerhouse. So get ready, San Jose fans. The Shark Tank is going to have a completely different meaning this year.
We're